Hello everyone. Thank you so very much for being here and agreeing to spend a few minutes of your day with me. Day before yesterday, which was Friday, I have just stopped giggling from all the shorts and memes made by Dallas Cowboy haters and some Saints fans over the game Sunday. Most of them were absolutely freaking hilarious, and some of them were works of art so precious that if I'd have had good sense, I'd have saved them, but I didn't. The one that I liked most was the one where they were showing all the Saints touchdown highlights, and it was set to Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. I can't find it nowhere anywhere. If somebody out there has it, please email it to greenmother1960@gmail.com and you will be my friend forever. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about the game. Before the Saints play a team, I like to watch that team in action. And I was seriously angry Monday night because my local ABC network was not broadcasting the game in tandem with ESPN this week. So I had to wait a few days until some good soul cut it up, taking out all the extraneous time, leaving about, maybe an hour and 38 minutes? And I watched it that way. And here's what I saw. I saw Philly's defense get gashed. I saw Bijan run outside, Bijan run inside, A or B gap to the left side. It did not matter. Just about every run that the Falcons tried against the Eagles were positive yards. But then, the Eagles do have the worst run defense in the league, and they run the 3-4, which has a big weakness of being weak in the run game. Now, I heard some of the commentators talking about, say, well, this is not working. Vic Fangio got to do something different. Well, Vic Fangio is one of those coaches that's kind of old school and probably a little bit set in his ways and probably would be resentful if somebody told him, homeboy, this ain't working. We gotta try something else. I also saw in the passing game where they have those linebackers up there cheating up to stop the run, they leave about 20 yards of clear field behind that second line in order to make complete passes in. And I saw that deep end being run from the left side and from the right side successfully by the Falcons. If they don't do something to adjust for this juggernaut that they're fixing to face tomorrow in the Dome, it's gonna be ugly. But you know that the Eagles' defensive coaching staff has taken note of what the Saints do in their games. And, of course, they're going to have something to counter it. But I believe that Clint Kubiak is a mad enough genius to sit up and say, okay, now, looking at what this team has done the last 2 weeks and how they run that offense, what could I do to stop them? And then, from that standpoint, think about what can I do to beat them. Eagles' defense is weak. Their defensive line is weak. They got no pressures at all on Kirk Cousins on Monday night. None. And that was one of the reasons why the backs were able to get out of the backfield. They could not penetrate. They're going to have to do that against the Saints. They do, however, have somebody on defense. A fellow named Darius Slay, who has been very good at times. Let's see if he can step up a little bit in this game. Well, we know the Saints' weaknesses. The Saints' biggest weakness is the running quarterback. And of course, Philly has one named Jalen Hurts. He has to be contained. Philly also has a running game. They acquired Saquon Barkley from the Giants this offseason, and it looks like it's been working out good. Saquon Barkley looks like his old self again. And that's, I do believe, it might be a few others sprinkled in here and there, but the extent of the Eagles' running game is Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. And many of you will say that, Jalen Hurts only runs when the play breaks down. That's not true. If you watched the game Monday night, you will see that yes, sometimes he did take off when the play broke down, but sometimes it was a designed run and it caught Atlanta off balance. Every time Saquon Barkley touched the ball, it was 9, 10, 12 yards down the field before he was tackled. First down. The few other runners that I can't call their name right now did the same. So did Bijan against the Eagles defense. I know the Saints defense is that much more magnitudes better than the Eagles. We have a front four. Let's hope they can get some pressure on Hurts. If they can't, then somebody gonna have to spy because he's gonna take off running. And there's another person that seems to have been forgotten while we're talking about Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. And that's Dallas Goedert. While running quarterbacks has been our Achilles heel, running quarterbacks and tight ends, especially in conjunction with each other, has been our kryptonite. Consider the game against Minnesota last year when Josh Dobbs ran all over us, and when he couldn't, I think the fellow's name is TJ Hawkinson, caught balls all over us and went into the end zone and beat us. Let us not let that happen this time. Philly's defense is ranked 31st in the league, or is it 31st against the run? Not sure. That's on me. I do not believe for 1 minute that Philly is going to be able to keep us from opening, possession, touchdowns, and next possession, and next possession. I don't believe they're going to be able to hold us. Unless they decide to do something radically different from what they have been doing. I don't know, they may. Vic Fangio may have to give it over to somebody else on the defensive staff if he's unable to effect change enough to slow down this juggernaut that is the 2024 Saints. In my season prediction show, I had said that there was absolutely no way that the Saints were going to beat the Cowboys. I've been eating my crow for that all week. But you'll also notice that in that prediction show that I did say that the most likely playoff caliber team that we'd beat would be Philadelphia. Because I didn't trust, you see how their defense fell off a cliff last season, and they come back into this season with those same problems, and we're going to take advantage of them. I'd like to see another 40 burger put on Philly, but somehow I don't quite believe it. I have said the score of 38-21. We haven't allowed a team to score 20 on us yet this year. Philly might be the first, and they'll do it with their run game, because we're not going to shut everything down all the time. But what we do have to do is to shut down the run enough to make Jalen Hurts beat us with his arm, not with his legs, and not with Saquon Barkley's legs, and definitely not Dallas Goedert catching passes. The Eagles have a player on their team named Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I know he is chomping at the bit to play in this game, and he is injured and questionable according to the Eagles' injury report. But it's likely that he's going to play. And you know, when he was with the Saints, some of us had given him the nickname of the Menace because of the way he trash talked and aggravated other teams' wide receivers. It's one thing you got to do. Whenever he do something, like he likes to snatch people's mouth guards out of their mouth. Whenever he do something, just take it and go on, because the best revenge for you will be sending him back to Philadelphia with an L in his pocket. I understand that he's upset, or that he might be a little bit upset about how things ended with the Saints. It hurt my feelings too, because he was absolutely one of my favorite players on the team. And I still love him. But not this week. And not any week. To where the Saints are going to be playing the Eagles. Saints and Eagles have a little bit of history. Back in 2006, when the Sean Payton regime came in and nobody knew what to expect from the Saints, sort of like this season, before the season started. Saints played Philadelphia third game of the year. Philadelphia hot team then. The score was 27-24, and they met them in the playoffs too that year in the divisional round. The score 27-24. Not sure what year it was. 2014, 15, 16 were 7-9 years. 17 we made the playoffs. 18 was the no call. But one year, and this is remiss of me, coming on here on film and talking to y'all and not being able to back my facts up, that will not happen again. One year, we went to Philly and played on the frozen tundra, and of course everybody said that the Saints could not beat a cold weather team outside. They did just that. And then, you know, of course, the 2009 year when we were 40 and everybody, it seems like, they 40-burgered them then. And it was Darren Sharper who made the difference in that game. I feel like sometimes watching the Saints team that I'm looking at a rubber band being cocked all the way back from 2006 to 2009, and they're ready to let it go so it can hit me at any time. I understand that those 91 points in 2 games hadn't been done lately in the Super Bowl era 3 times. Once in 1971, again in 2009, and this year. Of course, in 1971, it was the Cowboys. In 2009 and 24, it's our Saints. Now, there are some people saying, oh, those last teams that did that went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's right, they did. But this is only the 3rd game, people. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Let's please not be premature. I remember going into the 2006 season and not having any idea what this team was going to be or what they were going to do. And watching every week, holding my breath. Oh, they're going to win this week. Oh, they won! And I've been kind of holding my breath like that this year. Because, of course, you know, you fly so high, so high, so high, but sooner or later you do have to come down to earth. In 2006, we came down to earth in the 4th game against Green Bay. In 2009, we came down to earth in game 14 against Dallas. It's like I said on the video earlier, I ain't eaten yet. And I am a Saints fan, so I'm always riding. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care if they look like slop. I'm still riding. And I'm riding now. But what I haven't done is pick up one of those horns and start tooting it. And I suggest the rest of you do that too. Don't start tooting that horn yet. It ain't time. But when it is time, I'll be tooting it out there with everybody else. I think the Saints win tomorrow. Like I said, 38-21. Hoping for a 40-burger. I've been hoping for a 50-burger all year and hadn't got it yet. But whichever way, whichever way the game turns out tomorrow, don't get too mad. And don't get too glad. That's all I got for y'all. Love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Or just like if you're not going to share or subscribe. Again, thank you for being here. And, who dat?